Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Villa View match day experience. It's a weird feeling, you know. It's a really weird feeling when you come away from a football match and you're content and you're happy, despite the fact your team lost. I think the performance Aston Villa put in the second half yesterday, at the time of recording this against Man City, was really something to be proud about. I think bear in mind that Man City have a squad full of world class talents. That performance in the second half, we could have easily, if we put certain chances away, especially the one from Carney Chukwuemeka against Edison. Edison pulled off a fantastic save. If Carney put that away, then it's 2-2. We've got something out of the game. So there's a lot to improve on, but there's a lot of potential there as well. And in terms of the whole match day experience and going to the game, my thoughts were that Man City, I don't think we're going to go all over us and beat us 6-1 like one of the last times I saw Man City at Villa Park. That was a terrible experience, a terrible match day experience. 6-1 it was, and our guys scored the last minute penalty. But anyway, going to the game for last night, Villa Man City, I was hopeful that we could potentially get something out of the game, but you just have to realise that Man City has spent so much money on so many world-class talents. And despite the fact that Pep said he was in an emergency with certain players out, like De Bruyne and Foden and Grealish were consequently on the bench, the thing is, despite the fact that those players are out, they've got Bernardo Silva, they've got Fernandinho, they've got Rodri, they've got all these different players who are world class and phenomenal at what they do and bring something to their table. And as a cohesive unit, they're fantastic and deserve to be challenging for the Premier League titles and Champions League titles because they're a phenomenal squad headed by a fantastic manager in Pep Guardiola. But if you look at Villa's results, we beat Brighton, we beat Crystal Palace, and they're not your Man City, Chelsea's, Liverpool's, but they're still decent sides. I mean, it's still a decent side, two decent sides to defeat against. Bear in mind that Potter and Patrick Vieira have had really good starts to the season as well. So there's real hope before the game, especially with Stephen Gerrard's men. And the fact is, he's really enthused the Villa squad at the moment. He's really impressed them, apparently, with his training methods alongside Michael Beale and Gary McAllister. And altogether, they're creating a fantastic unit at Villa Park and Aston Villa Football Club, especially the likes of Leicester and that to come. There'll be more challenges. But before the game against Man City, this was our biggest challenge yet. We beat Brighton, we beat Crystal Palace. Man City are a phenomenal side, and there were worries before the game. I think I was hoping for a draw, but the thing is, you just got to appreciate that, like I've said, and just coming to a conclusion here. Man City are a phenomenal side, and it was going to be a real challenge. Yet, I was hoping for immediate reaction in terms of when the ball was kicked for kickoff, that Villa would really go at Man City and really challenge them from the first minute, and they didn't do that. They really didn't do that, and that was worrying from a Villa fan's perspective. Bear in mind that, like I said, and I'll recount that moment again, we lost 6-1 to Man City at home. I don't want to see that being repeated. So the fact was that because we were so standoffish, we were kind of respectful to Man City. They're allowed to play their way and hold and dominate possession, and we just let them have it for certain periods. And there was a moment in the game where Martinez kicked the ball out because he had no one to pass to, and there's that pressure, there's that tension within Villa Park from the word go, and Man City were all over us. And the goal they scored with Ruben Dias, I believe it is, and forgive me for my pronunciation because I'm not great with that, but Ruben Dias with the goal. He curved his body round and exquisitely, to be fair to him, placed it past, well, didn't really place it, he struck it past Martinez with real power and real emphasis on the fact that he wanted that first goal of the game. And he's a defender as well. I think there was a corner beforehand, the ball came to him, he's on the edge of the box, and he struck it with real power and real malice in order to get that first goal and break the deadlock at Villa Park. And you think after that, are they going to go and get a second, a third, a fourth? Because we didn't look up to standard, especially after the Brighton Palace results. We really didn't look up to standard. And we thought the game was finished. And of course it was. But with Bernardo Silva's goal, the second goal, that was a phenomenal finish. And he is such a fantastic footballer, by the way. The fact is that he reminded me, of course, he's not to Messi's level, but the fact is his movement and his agility and his work on and off the ball really reminded me of a player of that standard. And he played to a player of that standard. He's been phenomenal this season, alongside some fantastic talents in Raheem Sterling, who I thought was really good, and Rodri and Cancelo, who's feeding the balls in from wing backs. Bernardo Silva is going to have a lot of service, and that's what we missed at Villa Park in certain times as well. Bear in mind, we've had so many good attacking talents, but that play and that surface isn't there. Man City have that in abundance. So as soon as they get a chance and they've got a world-class player and Bernardo Silva ready on the end of it, of course they're going to score. And it was a phenomenal finish. And going into half time, I thought, this doesn't look good. This is really, really worrying. And I really didn't want them, as much as I love Villa, I love going to the game, I didn't want them to come out for the second half because I just thought this is going to be a repeat of the first 45 minutes. With Gerrard, a new manager, he'd gone into half time and really tried to encourage the players and really help them to try and strive on and potentially get another goal or potentially equalise. We didn't do that, but we had multiple attempts, like I said at the start, to actually once getting that first goal after the second half. So after the first half, once getting that goal straight away, we did then go on to have multiple attempts to try and get something out of the game. But you got to credit Austin McPhee with that Ollie Watkins goal, especially after the first half as well. Gerrard's gone in at half time. He's really told the players how it is and tried to encourage them, bring them back out, play for that Villa faithful and the 40-odd thousand fans that are there willing to support the team and really go out and try and get something from this game or really just match Man City in terms of their efforts and play them at their own game. And from that moment, Villa then had that energy, that real energy within their play to then push Man City and pressurise them, but when in possession as well, not necessarily be worried about it like they were in the first half. They played in those gaps and really tried to find those chances and create those chances and try and score that equaliser. And we had numerous attempts to do that. But what Man City always have is a superb bench. I mean, a phenomenal bench. One man on there who was going to come on was Jack Grealish. And there was a mixture in terms of reception for him, some claps, some booed. But the thing is, he contributed a lot to Aston Villa Football Club. So you've got to respect that. But he came on at some point. But Man City have a lot of attacking assets. So if Villa were to get an equaliser, they really had to take the chances before players like Grealish were to come on. And we didn't do that. And that's a learning curve as well, because Carney had a great chance, like I said earlier. A few others had a good chances. But the thing is, it's a learning curve in order for next time, especially in the Premier League when you have limited chances, you have to take those that come at you. And there's improvement on the training ground for us to improve our finishing and improve our crosses and passes in the final third. But that will come with time, and that will come with time for Gerrard to really implement his system to the fullest. But it was an interesting game on the whole. I think there's a lot to learn from it, like I said, but Villa have a lot of potential. Only 3 games into Gerrard's tenure, and we've got 2 wins and 1 loss. We've seen it over in Newcastle. Eddie Howe hasn't had a great start. Dino, thankfully, I love the bloke. It was his time to go at Aston Villa, really, and move on and try and find us a new replacement. But he's gone to Norwich City and had a fantastic start. There are numerous managers, who have gone to different Premier League clubs and had a mixture of starts. But Gerrard seems the most positive for me. And he's a fantastic character. And what he does on the sidelines and what he has done in the past on the pitch is that he's performed to a high standard. And that's what we really expect at Aston Villa Football Club, for Villa and the side and the fans to perform at a high standard. So the thing is, moving on now from this game against Leicester, I think we could really give them a good go. Leicester aren't on the best of runs. They think they drew to Southampton, I believe, 2-2. Rodgers is under a little bit of pressure. Bear in mind that he's really maintained these top 5, top 6 finishes the last few seasons, and they haven't really got going as much as they used to in terms of the Premier League and gaining those results. They haven't really done that as much this season. I'm not writing them off. I'm just saying that they haven't had the greatest of starts. So could Villa capitalise on their downturn of form? I think they could, I think we've got a really good chance. And of course, Leon Bailey's out. He's a fantastic talent. He won't be playing. And I wish him the speediest of recoveries because he's a phenomenal talent. We can see what he did and what he did against Everton. And we hope for that to happen on multiple occasions in the future. But in certain players like Ashley Young, who was phenomenal when he came on, in terms of Buendia, who showed, again, glimpses of what he can do, and Nakamba, who was phenomenal in the midfield, that tenacious terrier going at the opposition, trying to retrieve the ball and make sure Aston Villa hold and dominate possession as much as they can away from Man City, because we know what they can do with the ball and the ball in play and what they can do in terms of creating those chances. But it's a lot of promise. It's really a lot of promise. And hopefully Aston Villa, like I said, can capitalise on a performance like this and go again against Leicester and really secure a victory. So I hope you enjoyed that match review, match day experience, etc., please leave a like and subscribe to the Villa View. It's been a pleasure chatting to you a lot about the game, but most importantly, stay safe, stay well, and up the Villa.